A triangle is shown. The triangle is translated 8 units to the right and then reflected over the x-axis. Draw the result on the graph given below. So here there are 2 transformations that we need to complete. First, we need to translate our figure 8 units to the right, so I'm going to put a 1 here because that's the first thing we need to do. After we've completed that transformation, we need to reflect over the x-axis. So I'm going to put a 2 here because that's the second thing that we need to do. So we remember the word translate means to move. So you're moving your figure up or down, left or right. So if we're translating 8 units to the right, we're going to go to our original figure down here, and each vertex of the triangle, so each point here on the triangle, we're going to move 8 units to the right. So we're going to start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to put a point. We'll do this one next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll put a point, and then we have to do our third vertex here. We're going to move it 8 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, this would be our first transformation. So we have successfully completed translating our triangle 8 units to the right. Now I'm going to draw it in here. Now, once we get to this part, we don't want to stop. So we successfully have completed the first part, but we haven't completely answered the question because the question is giving us 2 transformations that they would like us to do. So the second thing I have underlined up here is that we need to reflect over the x-axis. So if you look at the grid here, the x-axis is labeled. We are reflecting over our x-axis, which is our horizontal axis. So if you have tracing paper available to you, tracing paper will help you do this problem. You can trace your figure and then actually reflect it up here. So if we're reflecting over the x-axis, this point right here is 1, 2, 3, 4 units below the x-axis, which means when we reflect it, the point will be 4 units above our x-axis. So we can put our new point right here. And we're going to do the same thing for the other 2 vertices. So here we're 5 units below the x-axis, which means our new point is going to be 5 units above the x-axis. Here, this point, our third vertex, is 7 units below the x-axis. So when we reflect it over this yellow line here, it's going to be 7 units above the x-axis. And now we have our transformed figure. I'm going to draw it in and then we will recap what we did. So the very first thing we did is we read the problem and we labeled the 2 transformations that we're being asked to complete. So remember, translations and reflections are both rigid motions, which means they result in congruent figures. So we started with our original figure and we first translated each point 8 units to the right. After we completed transformation 1, we kept reading and we did our second transformation where we reflected over the x-axis to get our resulting green triangle.